right now. Okay, guys, so I hope you got some inspiration or some tips or some ideas. I hope you got something from that episode anyway. I was wearing my heart on my sleeve. I was sharing with you what was inside my heart and my mind. So take what you want from that. But now let's take a look at 14 different expressions, words, fluency builders, phrasal verbs, different things and different ways that I used English that will help you as you're trying to get to the next level in your fluency. So the first one, obviously, you do what you got to do. You do what you got to do. And I spent the whole show explaining that. I'm not going to talk about the definition here. But the pronunciation, you do. You do. What you. You see how the you kind of sounds like you. You. You do what you gotta do. You do what you gotta do. You see the rhythm. You do what you gotta do. You do what you gotta do. You do what you gotta do. You see how that works? Okay, next. I said, let me share a personal story. And what you can say when you say, let me do something, you're kind of asking permission, but it's not really asking permission. It's just introducing that you're going to do or say something. And it's kind of polite sounding. So let me share a personal story. Let me verb. Let me tell you something. Let me go inside real quick and get my jacket. Let me. Next, I talked about a payoff, and I said pay back. I kind of used the wrong word in the episode. It's not really payback, it's payoff. Payback is something different. It's when you lend somebody money and they pay you back. This is payoff, and it's the return on your investment, the benefit you receive from doing something. And I said, right now, there's little payoff in what I'm doing and all my hard work, but I'm hoping for a big payoff in the future. And payoff can be a noun or a verb. Payoff. Next, don't give up. Simple, the phrasal verb is give up, but don't give up. Don't stop what you're doing. Don't stop. Keep going. Next, I kind of, again, went off onto a tangent in a different direction, but I wanted to bring you back to my story. So I said, but onto my story, right? I wanted to continue. But onto my story. But onto my song. But onto the show. But onto something. Next, I said nasty about the rain and when it's raining a lot and it's outside and dirty and wet. It's nasty. Nasty is a synonym for disgusting or, not nice. Nasty. Next, a headache. Something is a headache, and that's an adjective. It's a headache to do something. It means it's difficult or complicated or you don't want to do it. Something is a headache to do. It's a headache to do your taxes every year. It's a headache. It's complicated and you don't like to do it, right? It's a headache to go somewhere in heavy traffic. It's a headache. And a headache here is used as an adjective. Next, an expression we use, something is the lesser of two evils. This is when there are two bad options, but one option is less bad than the other one. You probably heard this expression before during the United States presidential campaign. And people said this about the two main candidates, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. They didn't really vote for, many people didn't vote for who they wanted. They voted against the one they didn't want. And it was going around a lot. It's the lesser of two evils. Which one is the lesser of two evils? Next is another adjective, to be drenched. To be drenched, if something is drenched, it's very, very, very wet. Drenched is like the superlative of wet. It's the most wet you can be. And I said, I use an umbrella so I don't arrive at my student's house completely drenched, right? So to block some of the rain. Next, I talked about a couple different proverbs. And a proverb is something in many languages. All languages have proverbs. It's just an old common saying that often gives a lesson, right? So the early bird gets the worm, for example. That's an old proverb, meaning get up early and be productive so you catch what you want to catch. So it's an old expression with a lesson, a proverb. Next, I said, let that sink in. Towards the end, after I said the proverb I also said was, I was once sad when I had no shoes until I met the man who had no feet. And then I said, let that sink in a bit. Meaning, think about it and absorb it and really try to understand it. Take a minute and try to understand that. Let it sink in. To sink is to go inside something, like to go underwater, to sink. So let it sink in your brain. Next, I said, let's be honest. Let's be honest. This is kind of like a fluency builder. Learn expressions like this to really become more fluent. But we say, let's be honest. When you're giving your sincere opinion about something, maybe it's not easy to hear, but it's true. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Next, MMA, mixed martial arts. That's the sport that I like. Kickboxing, wrestling, fighting, boxing, jiu-jitsu. That sport that's usually in the UFC, you might know it, or in a cage. That's called mixed martial arts, MMA. A mix of martial arts like taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, judo. It's a mix of them. And finally, this isn't necessarily a language lesson, but a life lesson. And it's the thing that that helps me continue to move forward and have a positive attitude. And I just have it in my mind and in my head that the harder the struggle is now, the better the success will feel in the future. And that's something that I've learned with experience of struggling and fighting, struggling, studying hard, working hard. And then when you finally succeed, it feels wonderful. So these are the expressions and the words to get and take away from this week's podcast. Are any of them new for you? Do you find any useful already? Write your favorite one or the one you like the best in the comments below. I encourage you to visit Sweed Academy and check out all of our episodes. Sweed Academy on YouTube. I have lessons. I put chunks of these podcasts on my YouTube channel so you can go away and learn and take something away with you. There's just a lot of cool stuff. And consider becoming a participating member. I'm really trying to get participating members. You get access to all of our courses for you to learn, for you to work with. I will check your assignments and give you feedback on the YouTube channel, and we can work together. You'll be a member of a private Facebook group only for participating members, and you get discounts on one-on-one classes. It's a win-win. But check that out, sweetacademy.com. That's all for me. My time is up. Thank you for listening. Remember, do something nice for somebody before they can do it for you. Pay it forward. Be good or be good at it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.